Storms are likely by daybreak, but what are the latest chances of severe weather developing Thursday afternoon and evening? I have the latest information in a few minutes.
Plus, former President Trump back on the campaign trail, this time in North Carolina, as Vice President Kamala Harris also gets ready to hold her own rally in the Tar Heels state. And Social Security celebrates 89 years of helping people. We explore the program's deep roots in Wisconsin and its uncertain future. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. The streak of warm and dry weather is coming to an end in southern Wisconsin. Storms are expected tonight, heading into tomorrow, bringing with them some wind and rain. The storms could also continue into the rest of Thursday if the conditions are right. For the latest on these storms, let's get a check of your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Eric, we're just moments away from thunderstorms really starting to evolve over the state of Iowa. Things are getting going, and they will be moving towards southern Wisconsin as we carry through the next couple of hours. That's round number one, and that round that you wake up to Thursday morning is likely not going to be severe. Can't rule out a little small hail, gusty winds, and some frequent lightning and heavy rain with those storms. But if they clear out soon enough, that's a if, that we've been keeping an eye on the past couple of days, strong to severe storms will erupt again over southern Wisconsin later Thursday afternoon, carrying on into Thursday evening. Right now in Dane County, we had a couple raindrops earlier this evening, but a lot of that has been fizzling, as I mentioned earlier in our newscast that it likely would. Still maybe a sprinkler or two from Dodgeville southeast to Monroe. Widening out and looking at future track. Watch as we move towards the wee hours of Thursday morning, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Showers and thunderstorms pressing into southern Wisconsin. This is that round number one that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, and it needs to get out of here soon enough to allow the heat to build up for redevelopment of thunderstorms later Thursday afternoon. But planning conditions through tomorrow morning, expect a wet start to Thursday, and I'm going to break down the latest indications with our weather models on the potential for severe thunderstorms redeveloping Thursday afternoon and evening coming up in Maine weather.
Alex, thank you. And stay up to date with the weather on our First Warn Forecast weather app, hourly forecast, road conditions, even the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. The Wisconsin State Patrol is identifying a woman who died in a rollover crash last Friday. It happened outside Lake Mills. 29-year-old Shamara Belcher died and 3 others were injured. The crash occurred just after 7 p.m. along eastbound I-94. 1 person was taken to a hospital by helicopter. 2 were transported via ambulance. State Patrol officials say a mechanical failure contributed to this crash. The incident remains under investigation. A man accused of making threats and racist comments towards a student group meeting at UW-Madison is now facing hate crime charges. 20-year-old Lucas Nowak is charged with 1 count of making terroristic threats, 1 count disorderly conduct using a dangerous weapon, and 2 counts of disorderly conduct. All 4 charges carry a hate crime enhancer. A criminal complaint alleges on November 28th last year, Nowak and another man barged into a classroom where a group of sorority sisters were studying. Nowak allegedly made racist comments and threatened a woman. As a condition of his bond, he is banned from the UW-Madison campus. New tonight from the state's embattled youth prison, Governor Tony Evers says he will not ask a federal judge to change policy on the use of things like pepper spray at Lincoln Hills. Correctional officers at the youth prison are limited in their use of pepper spray and restraints due to a settlement in federal court. Republicans in the state legislature had urged the governor to ask the judge for changes to the settlement, but Governor Evers declined. He wrote in a letter to the federal judge that he does not want to go back to the same conditions at the youth prison, which brought on a federal lawsuit in the first place. We'll have more on this system in crisis in a special report that airs tomorrow night at 6 and 10. It is the day after the August primary election. The voters have spoken with notably high turnout. Madison turnout higher for a primary than it's been in at least 40 years. 45% of voters cast their ballots yesterday. UW-Madison professor Michael Wagner says it's a combination of circumstances. Obviously, it's a presidential election year. On top of that, here in Wisconsin, we had competitive congressional district races on the ballot, as well as those 2 constitutional amendment questions. Wagner says Wisconsin voters are locked in.
They are enthusiastic about this election, and they see a great deal at stake. They saw that in the primary in terms of the constitutional amendments that they roundly voted down. They saw that in terms of an opportunity to vote for local offices.
Wagner says grassroots efforts are paying off in Madison. Several groups having invested into advertising related to those amendment questions. And those questions were the only issues on statewide ballots that were nonpartisan, seen on every ballot. In total, 1.2 million voters made their voices heard on those questions. For more on last night's primaries, head to channel3000.com, the election page there, and you'll find the results you're looking for, from amendment questions to school referendums. Just head to channel3000.com, click on the election banner right there on our homepage. Next at 10, the latest on the race for the White House. Former President Donald Trump returning to the campaign trail in the battleground state of North Carolina this afternoon. The economy, a focal point for both campaigns this week. At a rally in Asheville, Trump highlighted his proposals to eliminate federal taxes on Social Security, and he's calling for no taxes on tips, which the Harris campaign is also now proposing.
And we will do something else which was copied, viciously, ruthlessly copied. No tax on tips, okay? You know, if they wanted to do that, why didn't they do it 3.5 years ago?
Well, meanwhile, Vice President Harris will also travel to North Carolina Friday to unveil her own economic plans ahead of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next week. The campaign says the remarks will discuss tackling inflation and outline a plan to take on corporate price gouging.
I think we need a new, clean, crisp agenda. It's got to be more than just being against somebody else. It has to be looking at what are we moving towards.
On Thursday, Vice President Harris will join President Biden in Maryland for their first joint appearance since he dropped out of the race. Trump will head to Bedminster, New Jersey to host another news conference. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has agreed to participate in a vice presidential debate hosted by CBS News October 1st. It'll be held in New York City. So far, the Trump campaign has not yet agreed to that date, leaving GOP Senator J.D. Vance's participation in question. During an interview on Fox News, Senator Vance said he was open to the October debate but did not commit to it. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says inflation is at its lowest rate now since back in March of 2021. The July Consumer Price Index report, CPI, showed price increases slowed to 2.9% year over year. That data comes on the heels of July's sluggish jobs report, and the U.S. economy showing signs of some stress with the inflation rate creeping closer to the Federal Reserve's target of 2%. There is optimism the Fed will start to peel back interest rates from that 23-year high next month.
We think that as we get inflation data that comes in as expected, if indeed we get, as expected, the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, those are positive developments.
Grocery prices remained relatively flat from June to July, but year over year, breakfast and summer cookouts are more expensive. The cost of eggs up 19.1%, bacon up 8.5%, hot dogs up 9.7%. from July 2023, and ground beef up 4.2%. The U.S. Social Security program is marking 89 years of providing welfare and insurance benefits to millions of Americans, especially the retired and elderly. Some of those beneficiaries in Madison spent the day celebrating in late 1930s style, swing dancing. They spoke to our Armand Rahman about the impacts of the program and its Wisconsin roots.
Wisconsin joins the rest of the country in celebrating 89 years of the Social Security program and its ties to the dairy state. And seniors here say it needs to keep stepping in the right direction.
This is the anniversary of Social Security, which we need to hold and retain.
President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the original Social Security bill on August 14th, 1935. To understand why its 89th birthday makes Madisonians bust a move, we need to swing back to 1934.
It's something that came out of some of our old political leanings when we had here, and was able to bring it up to the federal level and be able to cover folks all across the U.S.
It was the middle of the Great Depression, when millions were unemployed, including the elderly with little or no help from their families. When FDR took office, he organized a committee to come up with a solution. UW-Madison faculty members Edwin Whitty and Arthur Altmeyer designed the Social Security Act, using the Wisconsin idea and the state's pioneering unemployment benefits program.
They were very important to my mother and my father and the generation before me. They would have been the first eligible generation, actually.
89 years later, in 2024, almost 68 million Americans per month get a Social Security benefit, mostly retired workers.
So my mother lives with me. She's 79 years old, almost going to be 80. And so Social Security is her main source of income. And if we were to cut Social Security or raise that minimum wage, that is cutting those benefits. And it would be a real hardship for folks like people like my mother.
And beneficiaries at the Goodman Center Wednesday say it's a groove everyone should care about.
But my kids will be responsible for watching my finances, so it's important for all ages.
Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
And the event was hosted by Wisconsin Democrats and the Harris campaign. Coming up, southern Wisconsin could be in for some stormy conditions. Alex with a complete forecast next. Plus, Ernesto gaining strength in the Caribbean, where the storm is predicted to head next when we come back.
Your child's confidence stems from learning and seeing clearly. At Shopko Optical, our professional team will help your child start their journey of confidence by providing quality eye care in a warm and comfortable environment. Schedule their back-to-school exam at shopko.com.
Action! Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Incredible deals. Just $3.95 to shake up your living room with a fresh new sofa. Get a power recliner for a steal. An upholstered bed in 2 different colors. Or a super padded, comfy, family-friendly reclining sectional. And of course, totally free doorstep shipping with no minimum.
Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
It's their classic rock that brings audiences to their feet. It's Blue Oyster Cult, performing live Saturday, August 31st at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets on sale now through Ticketmaster. Over 5 decades of music, thrilling fans everywhere. It's Blue Oyster Cult, August 31st at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
It's Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddleboarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Right now, during Toyota's national sales event, you can lease a new Tacoma for $349 a month, or get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new Tundra.
Come in today. Ooh, like.
Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom. My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rates.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Everyone's vision needs are unique. At Shopko Optical, our caring team of professionals will work with you to ensure your vision is at its best. Shopko Optical can help you experience every detail, color, and breathtaking sight in clarity.
News 3 Now brings you team coverage from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. We'll talk to delegates about the issues that matter right here in Wisconsin. Campaign 2024 DNC coverage live from Chicago, starting Monday on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
Welcome back now to continuing coverage on the rising tensions in the Middle East. The Biden administration says it expects ceasefire and hostage release negotiations to go ahead as planned despite a decision by Hamas not to attend. Iran and its proxies have threatened retaliation against Israel for weeks following the recent killings of senior Hamas and Hezbollah leaders. A top Hamas official telling the Associated Press the group is losing faith in the United States' ability to mediate a deal that would bring an end to the 10-month-old war. Amid the increase in tensions, the White House greenlit a $20 billion aircraft and weapons sale to Israel, and that includes dozens of F-15 fighter jets and 30 air-to-air missiles. President Biden calling on Syria to negotiate the release of American journalist Austin Tice. He was detained near Damascus exactly 12 years ago. Tice traveled to Syria to report on the war there when he was just 31 years old. Problem is, the U.S. doesn't have any diplomatic relations with Syria and its leader Bashar al-Assad. has never acknowledged that Tice is being detained there. Earlier this year, the top U.S. diplomat said the U.S. was engaged with Syria and other countries to try to get Tice home. The World Health Organization once again is declaring Africa's Mpox outbreak a global health emergency. Officials at the WHO say a deadlier strain of the virus has spread to 4 African provinces that had previously been unaffected. Mpox, previously known as monkeypox, can be transferred from infected animals to humans through close contact. Among the symptoms of the disease, fever, low energy, back pain. Mpox has been in Central and West Africa for decades. Ernesto is now a Category 1 hurricane and gaining strength as it barrels through the Caribbean. The storm landed a powerful punch on the U.S. Virgin Islands yesterday as a tropical storm. Nearly a half foot of rain has fallen so far across Puerto Rico. The meteorologists warned the storm surge could reach 3 feet with life-threatening swells and riptides. Multiple flash flood warnings were in effect throughout the day across Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands as well. We're checking back in with Alex now. His complete first warn forecast. We could see some rain in southern Wisconsin here very soon, Alex.
Yes, just hours away. And also Ernesto and our weather system have a connection to each other. The hurricane now just pushing out into the southern part of the Atlantic Ocean, and it has nothing but warm water. And remember, hurricanes are a big heat engine. When they move over warm waters, that allows them to strengthen. Ernesto will continue to strengthen as it moves out into the Atlantic. But what's the connection to our weather? Well, we have a weather system and a trough over portions of the high plains stretching from Rapid City down to North Platte to Hill City into Kansas. And it's this weather system as it moves off towards the north and towards the east, bringing our threat for severe weather. As it goes further to the east and gets to the east coast, it actually steers Ernesto out into the Atlantic, which is good news. But you can still have the swells and the riptides along the ocean shorelines along the east coast. Nothing on Doppler track or radar 3000 right now in Dane County, but just a couple of showers or maybe a few sprinkles stretching from Dodgeville, southwest of Belleville over towards Monroe. Future track, though, showing things lighting up as we head towards the wee hours of the morning. First, Mississippi River friends, then across the rest of southern Wisconsin as we get towards 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when you join Savannah for our morning show. It will be likely a loud start to southern Wisconsin Thursday morning with that first round of thunderstorms. That round needs to clear in order for strong to severe storms to develop Thursday afternoon and evening. And I'm going to show you what the latest projections are with our future track model. Slight risk of severe weather, that's 2 out of 5 from Darlington to Monroe to Janesville to Beloit over towards Elkhorn. The rest of southern Wisconsin under a marginal risk. As we move further into Thursday, that first batch of showers and storms will then press off towards the north and towards the east. As we get towards 5 o'clock, Madison and areas off towards the west may break into that sunshine. As that sunshine heats up the atmosphere, even though we may have what's called a cap, a lid developing on the atmosphere, that heat of the day, along with the cold front coming in, should be able to eliminate that cap, allowing thunderstorms to pop up. Notice them moving through as we go through the Thursday evening hours, maybe even lasting into the wee hours of Friday morning as well. Of course, I will be here. Blaze will be here tomorrow night as well if we need to provide any severe weather coverage. Threats from these storms, wind is the highest threat right now. Could see a little bit of hail, heavy rain certainly out of any of these storms. We can't rule out a couple of tornadoes, especially if we can heat up, get enough moisture into the atmosphere. We'll have plenty of twist with the atmosphere, which we call dynamics, at play tomorrow. So bottom line with our storms, we need these morning storms to clear. You can think of this as a guide. If the sun is coming out late morning through the early afternoon hours, that's going to allow the energy to build up. That will eliminate the cap, that lid on the atmosphere, allowing for those storms to develop. So if all of those ingredients come into play, alert day conditions expected Thursday afternoon late, more likely in the evening hours. Breezy conditions on Friday behind that weather system, but we'll have pop-up showers and storms fill in during the afternoon hours of Friday. That will lead us to maybe a slight chance of a storm on Saturday. The extended, though, is looking mostly dry at this point. Temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80 and lows around 60 degrees.
All right, Alex, thank you. Over in Milwaukee County, a Franklin family is fighting to get their son onto the football field. This after the school denied his eligibility. Lindsay Gershewski's son, Jack, has autism and is in an individualized education program, or an IEP. Jack came into the Gershewski family 3 years ago, and sports have been a saving grace for the teen. Jack played youth football in Franklin during middle school, and he was registered for high school football.
To see him just crushed when all of his friends are going to football practice, or they're texting him, "Where are you?" or the coach is calling and asking where Jack is.
Now, one of his coaches at Franklin even wrote a letter of recommendation for Jack after meeting him during football camp this summer. Meanwhile, Jack's mom is working to reverse the decision in time for the first kickoff of the season.
And coming up in sports, the Brewers come up clutch against the Dodgers. The big at-bat that gave the Crew the lead for good is next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Before she was the most liberal U.S. Senator, Kamala Harris was the liberal San Francisco prosecutor, the most progressive in all of California. She let an MS-13 gang member go, who then murdered a father and his 2 sons. She agreed to release another felon, who then committed murder. And Kamala even protected illegal alien drug dealers so they could escape deportation. Kamala Harris, a dangerous San Francisco liberal. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff 3 for $5. Incredible value for a limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
Broadway has arrived. See the best of Broadway. Subscribe at overture.org.
Introducing TPC Wisconsin, Madison's elite golf club with worldwide privileges, plus extraordinary amenities to keep you active year-round, to keep you fit, and well-equipped for the course, to keep you connected to what matters the most. Play where the pros play with an exclusive membership at TPC Wisconsin. Make it your club today.
Get an 11% rebate on your outdoor projects at Menards. Shop our great lineup of ultra-deck low-maintenance composite decking and the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscaping blocks. From decks, patios, fire pits, and more, get free estimates fast using our easy do-it-yourself design programs. Visit us in-store or on menards.com to get started today. Get an 11% rebate on all decking and landscape blocks.
Save big money at Menards.
News 3 Now, in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, is collecting school supplies for area students, and we need your help. Drop off school supplies at any of our Dane County locations from now until August 16th, or make a monetary donation at channel3000.com. Thank you for helping hundreds of youth by making a generous donation to the News 3 Now Back to School Supply Drive. Sponsored by Metcalf's Market, Lamer's Bus Line, and Midwest Financial Group.
Kamala Harris has spent decades fighting violent crime. As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border. As vice president, she backed the toughest border control bill in decades. And as president, she will hire thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Oh, they said this question was coming. Yes, we have named Tyler Van Dyke our starter.
And that's how the news broke to the outside world. Tyler Van Dyke is officially QB1 for Wisconsin. Now, he found out on Sunday in Platteville, and if you were paying attention, the last couple of practices, TVD started to separate himself from Braden Locke. And after he earned the job, you could sense a little relief from the Miami transfer. But he also knows job's not done. Now it's time to prove he is the guy that can take the Badgers to the next level.
Yeah, it means a lot. It means the coaches believe in me. It means the players believe in me, and I'm just glad they gave me this opportunity to, get some revenge for myself and bring some greatness to Wisconsin.
The decision-making part of it is good. The big arm is really a bonus for us, and his mobility is a bonus. So the three things you would hope to have in a quarterback we have right now.
And speaking of TVD, Wisconsin's newly named starter was named to the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award watch list, which is given to the top college quarterback. Van Dyke threw for 2,703 yards and 19 touchdowns last season at Miami. It's been a heck of a season for the Madison Mallards. First, they got to 50 wins. Then the second half, they clinched a spot in the playoffs, and now they're a win away from playing for a Northwoods League title. Standing in their way, the Kalamazoo Growlers. Charlie Marion, not worried about it. He went 2 for 3 at the plate with both of his hits solo bombs. But both of those hits were the only ones the Mallards had all game. Their season comes to an end, 3-2, the final. Game 3 of 4 between the Brewers and Dodgers. Crew looking for their first win in the series, and they battled in this one. Down by as many as 3, but stormed back. Jackson Churio sends a little blooper into the outfield, and that will score Joey Ortiz, which gives the Crew a 5-4 lead in the 7th, and they'd hold on. Brewers get the win, 5-4, the final. And the Stanley Cup was making its way around Milwaukee because of the GM from the Florida Panthers. It was his day with the Cup. Bill Zito is a Wisconsin native and went to high school at the University School of Milwaukee. So, of course, the Cup had to make a stop at his old stomping grounds. Lord Stanley also visited Pfizer Forum and AmFam Field. We're back after this.
During the Labor Day Mattress Marathon at Ashley, take up to $1,200 off on select Beautyrest Black adjustable sets. Plus, get up to $300 in free furniture, 60-month 0% interest financing, and free delivery. Going on now at Ashley.
MS-13 gang member here illegally. Robbed a pregnant woman, then released. Then executed a San Francisco family, another illegal. Arrested, released. Then killed this young boy with a sword. Illegal immigrant, convicted, released. Then violently fractured a woman's skull. Who released every one of them? Liberal DA Kamala Harris. The victim's blood is on her hands.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Get select large thin crust pizzas for $8.99. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
$8.99. That is a great deal.
China Lights is back this fall at Berner Botanical Gardens in Milwaukee. This spectacular event has been leaving visitors awestruck for its magnificent array of over 40 huge lanterns. China Lights Year of the Dragon is simply amazing, with animals, entertainment, food, and an interactive zone. This event is for the whole family. China Lights opens September 13th and runs through October 27th. Buy your tickets now. The experience is breathtaking.
At DePaco, your health and happiness are as important to us as your financial well-being. So when you're ready to take the first step, we'll help you make a plan and transform it into a lifelong commitment. Well-being is the key to a life worth loving. So when you think about yours, remember that DePaco can help you be well.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
Have you been holding off on your appliance purchase? Wait no longer. Labor Day savings start now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Get up to $3,000 in rebates on top appliance brands and special financing for 60 months at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
A System in Crisis, Thursday on News 3 Now at 6.
Tonight. Hey, Steve! Can I ask you a personal question? Why do you look like that?
The things I've seen.
New tonight on CBS.
Finally tonight, a claw prize machine at a Pennsylvania mini golf course recently got a surprise prize. Among the stuffed animals, that's a real live one, a groundhog, managing to weasel its way into the machine and couldn't get out. So he's blending in with the other stuffed animals there. The State Game Commission was called out, and with the help of a vending machine company, a game warden was able to safely get the critter out and release it safely. And now the business held an online naming contest for the groundhog. The winning name was Colonel Mustard. Not really sure how that happened. You see kids crawl up in those things every once in a while. See them knocking out. Never see a groundhog in there. No. Hey, we got some rain maybe moving in, but it kind of is fizzling out right now, at least what's coming in, right?
What we've had this evening definitely fizzling out, but what's on the way, not going to fizzle out. By the time we get into the wee hours of Thursday morning, could be a loud morning for southern Wisconsin with thunderstorms building in, as we see here with Future Track as we press towards 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. There we go, coming in off the Mississippi River into southern Wisconsin. This round of thunderstorms not expected to be severe, but frequent lightning and heavy rainfall not out of the question. Marginal to slight risk of severe weather for all of southern Wisconsin Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. What we're keeping an eye on Thursday afternoon is some breaks in the storms, allowing the atmosphere to warm up, heat up. With the humidity that we have out there, we could be looking at strong to severe thunderstorm redevelopment by late in the afternoon and in the evening. We'll be watching it all morning tomorrow, and Blaze and I'll be here tomorrow night.
All right, sounds good, Alex. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, folks, for News 3 Now at 10. We hope you have a great night.